Hey there, fellow citizen of the internet. My name is Moses. I make random videos and put them up on the internet for strangers to see. And today I'm sharing about the mistakes that I made in my 20s, early 20s and mid 20s regarding credit cards. There were pretty much three main mistakes that I would say that I made. One is that I failed to understand what it is that I was actually getting into. The second thing is I started spending way more money than I actually had, living above my means. And three, I paid a lot of interest for those mistakes. Story time. So I am in college and I'm driving down to my buddy's house. The tire on my car blows up and I need a new tire. So I go to a mechanics and I pick up the tire that I want, and as I'm about to pay, the cashier on the other side says, "Hey, would you like to see if you can get approved for a card and you can use that as a form of payment?" I said, "Sure." So the guy does some magic and it says, "Voila, you have been approved for," I think it was like $1,300. So he's like, "Would you like to pay with this credit or would you like to still pay with cash?" And I look at my cash, I look at the card, cash smells good, card has no smell. Simple decision to make, and I get the card. Now the mistake here is that I didn't ask. What am I getting into? What's the APR? Is there a transaction fee? Is there an annual fee? I didn't know anything. I didn't ask for anything. I just said, I don't get to use my cash today. All right, say less. In short, I did not take the time to understand what it is that I was exactly signing up for. And that became the foundation for the next two problems. The second one was, spending more than I could actually afford. Fast forward a couple years into college, and I signed up for this store-specific credit card at a tech store. Now, I really love tech, so this was a really bad idea. But now I became a little bit smarter. I read a little bit, so I knew that whatever it is that I spent on that card, depending on the product that I bought, I had a certain amount of time to pay that off. Some items would say, hey, if you pay this off in 6 months, there is no interest to be paid. And that became the recipe for a very bad disaster, because I added an item after an item after an item, and all of a sudden I have all these things that I cannot afford. The deadline is coming up, and all of a sudden I am unable to pay the amount that I had agreed to pay within the particular time frame. And that led to the next problem, which is interest. Here is what interest means in my head now. If I need $1,000 to buy this phone, for an example, I have to want this $1,000 so bad that I'm willing to pay $1,020 for it. It is immense stupidity. It really does not make any sense. So after getting into so much consumer debt, I was like, okay, this is enough. I started to educate myself, and I read a book called The Total Money Makeover by yours truly, Dave Ramsey. I did read other books as well, such as The Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. One of the things that I learned from Dave Ramsey was that I needed to get rid of all my credit card debt as fast as I could, as though my life depended on it. I went crazy. Every single dollar that I could spare, I would throw it into the credit card. I think within 4 to 6 months, I paid off all the cards, and I could not have been any happier. I took this a step further and I physically cut up some of the credit cards that I had gained over time. I took a scissor, took a knife, and cut those cards in half because I did not trust myself to be able to make good, logical financial decisions when it came to credit cards. Fast forward to now, I am living way below my means. I have not paid interest, not even a single cent, in several years, and I continue to educate myself on financial literacy. Now, the last year or two, I've been traveling quite a lot, and then I learned that some credit cards have travel benefits. Now, here is the difference between what I did before and what I'm doing now, is that I was already traveling when I noticed that there were benefits that would come with having a particular credit card. Instead of the other way around, instead of trying to make a credit card afford me a lifestyle, I'm living a certain lifestyle, and then I'm like, wait a minute. In addition to the lifestyle that I'm living, I can alleviate some of the headaches by having a credit card. At least that's what I tell myself to feel better about the situation. At the end of the day, though, I am living below my means and I'm not paying any interest. And that right there, I would say, is the key. So if your life really depends on credit cards like this, and you're trying to afford a lifestyle based on this, it is a really bad idea. Stay away from credit cards, live below your means, and always remember, whatever you do, put yourself in a financial situation where you are not paying interest. I need to repeat the point. Do not pay interest on credit cards. It is not a good idea. You are spending way above your means, and you should cut those cards or stop using it. Do whatever you gotta do to not pay interest. Thank you for watching. My name is Moses. I will see you in the next video. Peace.